Welcome back, everybody, to the Rock Resurgence Radio Show. My name is Chad, the host.
And I'm your co-host, Bergy.
Hey, today is a very special episode. We got a special guest. His name is Hopper. He has a show called Hop's Metal Show on YouTube. I'll let him plug his stuff. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Rock.
Absolutely.
I think we could probably just talk all day long. About music. There's no doubt in my mind. Because I know when I met y'all at the Kicks thing, it was like, I thought that was really cool. I had a good time that night.
Yep.
I'm sure this will be fun too.
Yes, sir. Where can people find you on YouTube?
You can go to Hop's Metal Show on YouTube. Been on there about 5 years.
Okay.
Also got a Facebook group that you come on there. We chat about, stuff. Friends post stuff, and we do think Diary of a Madman's better, Shout the Devil, just stuff like that.
Okay. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of our freaking favorite bands of all time. We're going to give you a top 10 list. Each of us will pick 10 songs from Ratt, and we're going to count them off 10 to 1. And this is really tough. I don't know about you guys.
It was really hard. I just want to say one thing is Ratt is one of my all-time favorite bands. Our very first episode that we did was what got us into this kind of music.
Yep, what band kind of got us sparked.
My pick was the album Out of the Cellar from 1984, and I was 13 years old.
Yeah, I know. It's just
hearing Round and Round on the radio, and then going back and that being their first album, pretty much. I mean, the EP, which of course I'm sure we'll discuss but that did come out in '83, but then it was reissued, blah blah blah. But so that's a band that I got into and kept up with their catalog from the very start.
Yeah.
Versus somebody like Van Halen, where 1984 was huge, and then I went back and bought their, back catalog stuff.
Yep. Mine was not Ratt, but it was Motley Crue, and I kind of did the same thing.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We may have an episode on that coming up.
Yet.
How about you? What got you into it, buddy?
I guess kind of like y'all. I'm a huge Motley Crue fan. Always have been, and it was kind of like, Ratt was just one of them bands like Quiet Riot, Twisted Sister. They're just one of them I was exposed. But it was like their catalog is unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. It's like we was talking earlier. This list could change probably. It could probably even change within an hour.
I know. I matter of fact, when I was listening to it, I went back and forth. I went, should this go up here? I like this. I mean,
I might flip flop while we're talking.
I know. I mean, that Out of the Cellar, it was so hard to pick. I didn't want to. I could have picked them all off of that. Yeah. I could have just went 1 through 10 on that album because it's so damn good. It's one of those all killer, no filler albums, man. So, anyways, we'll get started. We'll let Hopper go first. Chris will go second. I'll finish up in third, and then we'll just keep that order as we go. You start us off, Hopper.
All right, and like I said, man, this was so hard to do, and now I look at my number 10 should have probably been higher, and it might just be because it's been overplayed, is Round and Round. I still love that song, though. I mean, it's still a great track. I never change the channel when it comes on the radio. I've heard it millions and millions of times, though.
Yep, that's the first song I heard by Ratt as well.
Yeah, and me too.
I mean, how can you go wrong with it?
Yeah. Really? Now they use it in a Geico commercial?
Yeah,
or something?
It's hilarious. Yeah. We got a Ratt problem.
Oh yeah. And there's Stephen Pearcy.
Yeah, down there just jamming out round and round. That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
So cool pick. What do you got?
So are you all done talking about Round and Round, Hopper?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. I got stuff to talk about later on. So.
Yeah, good pick. I'm kind of shocked it's at number 10, but I get it. I love it. I love it that you're probably going to be a little bit of a deep track guy. I think I kind of am too, but I got that a little higher on my list, but we'll see. We'll stay tuned for that. So my number 10 is, and I should have made some more notes, but it's off the album Dancing Undercover.
I love that album.
And I think I have 2 songs off of that album This one is Slip of the Lip. Just a quick lyric from the song. This is on Dancing Undercover, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
At 15, you wanted someone to call your own. Sweet 16, you couldn't see straight, you couldn't let go. Now you're 18 and you barely make a sound. You're getting older, a little bolder. You're in the lost and found. All the way you say you'll take me any day, you'll never break me. So I love the catchiness to this song. There's something about it with Warren's guitar riffs that kind of drive the track. It's sharp, but yet still got melody to it. And then, it's complemented by Robin Crosby's rhythm. It has a nice layered sound to it. I don't know. That's my number 10, Slip of the Lip. Love it.
Awesome. On to me.
On to you, buddy.
Well, it's just kind of funny that that's my number 10 as well.
Oh,
Slip of the Lip off of Dancing Undercover, and you kind of read the lyrics I was going to read, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, when Dancing Undercover came out, I had the other two albums, and then this one sounded just a little different. Ratt, if you listen to Ratt albums, they're all mixed and they all sound really, really good. If you throw them in a stereo, they sound freaking amazing. Yeah. This one just didn't have that sonicness to it that the Out of the Cellar and Invasion had. So right away, I didn't really like Dancing Undercover all that much. But as we've kind of gone into this journey on this podcast thing, and I started listening to their stuff more and more, they went up my list a lot. And that album went up my list a lot because I was like, holy shit, this is actually way better than I remember it when I was, 15 or whatever it was. So I'll just leave it at that. Slip of the Lip, Dancing Undercover, great song. So on to you, bud.
Number 9.
Well, I'll go with Dancing Undercover. You was talking about that album. That my buddy Wes, the one that helps me with my interviews, he got me really into Dancing Undercover. I always liked it, but we used to ride around, drinking and just listen to that album and just play it. So I've got a lot of good memories with that album, and that's part of the musical journey too. So
it is. We do a lot of that. We call it booze cruising. Up here in North Dakota, because it's like fucking
way too much.
We both grew up in these little towns. About how many people are yours? 500?
300 maybe 300? Tops.
My town that I came from is about 600 people. So Friday, Saturday nights, it was booze cruising. And then you'd go out and have a bonfire, and all your friends, all the people from high school or whatever would show up. You'd be
someboody have some 6x9s and a subwoofer in their trunk, and back up to the
fire, and they'd crank out some tunes, and it was almost 99% of the time it was me. So I played what I wanted to hear. So anyways, it's probably a little different than from where you came about. I don't know if you also lived in a bigger city or not, but yeah, that's what we used to do. Was just hang around bonfires and drink beer and listen to music.
We actually they still do that, I guess, because Blacktop Mojo, that's what that means. That's what the bass player told us.
Oh, really?
They got their name from.
Sure.
So I thought that's kind of a cool story.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay.
Here there's a lot less blacktop and more gravel, though.
Exactly. It's gravel mojo here.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is here too.
So, okay, what do you got for 9?
Yeah, we got for number 9. I got Way Cool Jr.
Good pick, also.
And I was looking through this, and I think what I did was my top 3 are pretty solid, but the rest of it, it's like I didn't want to dig into it too much because I knew I'd be doing it forever. I better bump this song and put this song in, and
I went
so much.
I went through each album and kind of listened to a little bit of each song just to see how it hit me, and I was like, so.
I would still be doing my countdown if I would have done that.
I'm on my days off, so I had kind of all day yesterday, and I just in the afternoon I just did these. So, but I think you guys will be a little surprised about my list.
Yeah, so I kind of went through like the listing, like I'm an Apple Music subscriber. oddly, I don't think like the EP is on there. I think I had.
It isn't. Remember, I bought it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
let
I
you
have
rip
it. I mean, I have the cassette of it somewhere.
Yeah.
I wish I could find it. I have the CD somewhere. Wish I could find it. But anyway, I just kind of went through the song titles and just like, oh yeah, I gotta put that one on there. So I wrote them down or put them in a note file or whatever. And I, I got up to about 15, 20, and I'm like, okay, now I got to break these down to which ones make my top 10. And like you were saying before, that these could be different tomorrow if we did it again.
I know.
I think when I get to my top 5, all 5 of those could be number 1 possibly.
Right.
But anyway, enough yapping. My number 9 is off the EP, and it's a song called "You Think You're Tough." Yeah. I love what's the word for it? The chugging guitars, the swagger of the song. I mean, I've said this before when we were talking about Stephen Pearcy, and he feels like a fucking pirate to me, swashbuckling his way down the stage. And the song, the lyrics are well, I mean, it's just an attitude song.
Yeah.
It's on the EP. If you don't have it, check it out. If you can't find it, find it. I think there's 6 songs on it. Maybe I think I read somewhere that there's a 7th on the European version, and it's just a different version of "You're in Love," if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so the version that came out in '83, they're a little more raw and less polished. The one that I probably had after I got out of the cellar was probably the more polished version. So that's my 9.
Okay, my number 9 is "Nobody Rides for Free" off of Point Break soundtrack. And I think they released it on.
It was on that 81, 91
yeah,
yep,
for sure.
And then that other best of the whatever it's called, whatever. So, it's kind of funny. This is one of those songs I didn't really know that much. I mean, I knew it was that when I watched the movie and I could hear it. I'm like, that's Ratt, man.
It's
That's
at the
Ratt.
very end of the movie.
It's at the very end of the movie during the credits. And so I didn't really pay much attention to it.
Yeah.
And then I got 81, 91, and I heard it, and I was like, shit, that's a good song. And I still didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. And then I think it was my brother-in-law and I were talking about Ratt one time, and he goes, one of my favorite songs by Ratt is this song. And I went, I got to go listen to this damn song again. So I went and listened to it, and I went, Jesus, that's a good song. I just, the more and more I listen to it, the more I like it. So that's my number 9. Could have been higher, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, like we all said, we said it several times. This list could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
Higher tomorrow, it could not make the list.
Not make the list at all, huh?
Yeah, could be in my honorable mentions. So that's my number 9. On to number 8 with Mr. Hopper.
Number 8, I have "Loving You Is a Dirty Job."
Yes, great album.
And yeah, it's like I look through this and I'm like, that probably should have been higher, lower, and I'm probably gonna be saying that a lot this episode.
I think so. I think that's safe to say. So, got anything?
Well, were y'all big into videos when they did videos?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have. I thought about grabbing it and showing it on this episode. It was in the room next to our studio here. Is my little office, and I got a rack of DVDs, and I have I think it's called Ratt: The Atlantic Years, and it's a video, but it has every single one of those videos from. It probably goes through. I feel like it goes through Reach for the Sky, and that's it.
Yeah.
But so there's probably 7 or 8 or maybe 10 videos on there. Pretty cool, but. So yeah, I've seen.
Is that the one the one I have on DVD? They have some you can watch a narration where Stephen Pearcy talks about, what's going on in the videos.
Sure, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah,
and that was really cool too, just to hear him talk about, riding the horses or whatever they was doing.
Yeah, growing up, videos. I never really bought any. I really didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, you watched them on MTV.
I didn't have MTV. I'm from Rolette, man. We didn't have
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah,
There were certain
so
areas
no
of North
Headbangers
Dakota.
Ball? Like,
Anytime I went somewhere that they had that and I was going to be there on the weekend, I brought a VHS tape and I recorded.
Yeah, that's the way it was for me. I didn't have it neither. I had friends that would record it and
Yeah.
let me borrow it, but I didn't have MTV neither.
So
Yeah.
I know, like, when we do these videos and when we do these episodes and stuff and you're talking about the video, a lot of times I haven't seen them.
I guess I feel a little spoiled.
You are.
My dad had one of those big 10, 12-foot
Oh,
god-awful
dishes.
looking satellite dishes.
So you had East and West Coast.
Yeah, but it was probably, I don't know if it was 84, 85. So, I mean, we had it for, we're all 53, crazy enough that
I know.
that's the case. But so in 84, we were 13 years old. Well, that's when Out of the Cellar came out. A lot of good music came out then.
Yeah.
And I don't know when Headbangers Ball started, but it probably wasn't 84. I think it was probably later
Than that, I'm pretty sure. I would guess 86 if I were going to guess.
Yeah, and I'm, at 16 or 17, I'm kind of sad I wasn't out on a Friday night. Friday night it came out, or Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
12 to 2, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, sounds right. It was a couple hours or maybe 3 hours even long. But I do remember before that, Friday Night Videos was on NBC, I think.
Yeah, I did watch that. I didn't.
It was like a half hour, so there's probably maybe an hour. So there was only 5 or 6 videos every Friday night at 10:30 our time here.
Well, did you have Pepsi Power Hour?
Don't remember that.
Nope.
It was Canadian music channel, but they had like Thursdays. I think it was Thursdays. They had like an hour-long metal show.
Much Music, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it was Much Music.
Yeah, Much Music is definitely Canada.
Yep.
Came out on April 18th of 1987.
Wow.
That's when it started.
Okay. So I was 15 years old, just about to turn 16.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
Do y'all know what the first video was played on Headbangers Ball?
No. I don't.
It's Cinderella's Somebody Save Me, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm surprised that was the first one, of all videos out there, that Cinderella was the first video they ever played.
Huh. Interesting.
Not that that's a bad thing or nothing. I'm a huge Cinderella fan, so I thought it was pretty cool.
So my number 8, still back to, I'm going back to Dancing Undercover. And it's funny. I just did a AI chat about this or whatever, Chat GPT, just to see what they said about it. And right away, I've said this about AI several times on our shows, but they're just not right. Like so here's some key details it says about the song. And the song is Dance. It's the first song on the album. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong?
Nope.
Says released in 1986. That sounds right. Here it says it's the second track on the song, and I'm like, that's not. So I popped this cassette in when I first get it, and the intro to that song, I love it. It just, whoa, this is different. Like you were saying about the sound of that album. And I don't know how fortunate I was I had parents that my mom kind of stayed at home. I grew up in a small town, but you're 50, 60 miles away from a record store. But she'd go down to Minot for grocery shopping or whatever, and I'd say, hey, there's some lawn mowing money. Could you pick this out? Go to the record store and pick up Ratt, Dancing Undercover, or Ratt, Reach for the Sky, or whatever.
Yep.
And she'd come home, and I'd take the cellophane off, and I'd pop it in my little sound design stereo or whatever that I got from Sears. But anyway, I love that song, Dancing Undercover. The album, the song's Dance.
I really like that song too.
It's got a good rhythm to it, and the chorus is great.
Yep. Okay, my number 8 is off Reach for the Sky. It is called I Want a Woman. Love this song. I don't know what else is. I don't have any great things that happened with this album. As far as albums go, this is not probably my favorite album, but that's a really good tune. There are a few. Is that the one, City to City?
Yeah, that first song is City to City.
Yep. I like that song too. I really like that song. But I Want a Woman, not some little girl who used to grow up in Daddy's Big World or whatever it is. It's just a catchy song. And I learned it on guitar, so that's why it made my list.
Speaking of videos, that video is full of jailbait. Just
Oh
saying.
yeah, yeah, definitely that.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, go, should look it up on YouTube and watch the video. You'll see what I mean. And that's one I remember, seeing it recently on YouTube or whatever, but I don't really remember catching that one on Headbangers Ball. What year did that album come out?
89 or 88. I seen him on that tour.
I saw him in Invasion.
Maybe by that year was more of I was out on Saturday night booze cruising like we talked about.
Little tidbit I didn't say. I haven't had one from Invasion yet, I don't think. That's probably why I haven't said it. But I saw him on that tour, and Bon Jovi opened up for him in Bismarck.
Yeah, they had. I didn't. Yeah, somebody had posted that on my group page that they had saw. That was one of the trivia things was who opened for Ratt on their Invasion tour, and somebody answered that guy. He was a couple years older than me, but he said he went to that tour.
It was amazing, and Bon Jovi was freaking phenomenal.
But this to be a whole different show. But I know when I went to see Bon Jovi, I ain't never seen so many women go crazy over one guy.
Oh my God, I know, it was insane. It was insane, and it was before they were even huge. Well, actually, yeah, no, on that one they weren't crazy for him, because I've seen Ratt, I've seen Bon Jovi a couple different times.
7,800 Fahrenheit.
No, they were pretty crazy about him. Yeah, that was 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit, and it wasn't even the height of his thing.
No.
And there was a guy there with remember he had that dark hair with the little bleach ends or whatever. Just if you look up a picture, there was a guy there that had his hair exactly like his, and I'm like, wannabe?
Yeah, right.
Awesome. So yeah. Anyways, no. Kind of off the topic, but yeah, I Want a Woman, very catchy off of Reach for the Sky. I think that's their fourth album. So, on to you, Hopper.
Yeah, just one more note on that. I went and seen him in '89. He was talking about the video for I Want a Woman. That's pretty much what the stage show was like. And this is a funny little note here on also that show. I know it was the very first concert I'd ever went to. And I didn't really know what to expect. I know it was loud, that's for sure. But we got when they left the stage, we was like, well, we better go and get in our car and stuff. So we're walking out, and I'm like, man, I can't believe they didn't play Round and Round. We didn't hear it the whole night. So go and walking out the door, and as soon as the door closes, we hear them, welcome back. I didn't know bands done encores. I didn't know they'd come back out and, play 3 or 4 of their biggest hits. But that was kind of funny because I never pulled that trick again.
That's funny.
I know. That is weird. I know what was the first? I think that wasn't was that my first? I think that was my very first concert.
Yeah, we could do it. It's funny. We should do a show on what your first concert was one day.
That was. Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So the old encore. That's you sit there for 5 minutes just yelling and screaming. I'm like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah. and it's pretty much a thing. There's bands that don't do it probably.
I think it used to be every show
you went to.
Way back then, but I think it's less and less now. They just kind of do it and get done.
Now it's like, I guess because we're getting older, we have to get home sooner.
Yeah, so it's like get our old ass to bed.
Well, maybe being young, like I can remember thinking, yelling for an encore or whatever, and thinking, if we don't yell loud enough, they're not going to come out and do it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure back they're always going to come out and do it, whether it was the weakest crowd in the world or if it was the most raucous, atmosphere.
Unless you was Axl Rose.
Yeah, if you were just one of those guys that was just going to be a dick to be a dick, probably, or whatever.
Yep.
But
yep.
Anyway, good pick.
All right. Now I forgot that I haven't been saying the name of the albums, but this one's off Dancing Undercover, and I'm going with Dance also. Great song.
Oh yeah,
it is a good one. I
don't know how much more we can say about that one. It when it first came out, I was thinking, it didn't really sound like anything off of Out of the Cellar or.
It was kind of. I almost thought it was kind of wimpy.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I was like, I'm not really sure if I like this.
Oh, but I love that song.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I'm just let the cat out of the bag. It didn't make my list. It made my honorable mentions, but I do love that song.
Yeah. And the more you listen to it, the less you felt wimpy about it.
Yeah. The more I like it. So then I guess with that being said, you're 7.
We're on to my 7. Well, I got to find my list again. I think I remember what I had here, but just to be safe. So actually, this is going to be, I think, my first pick off of Out of the Cellar, with more to come for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It is You're in Trouble. And I think, is that the second song on the album? I should have grabbed my,
I don't know.
I got this on vinyl.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
Wanted Man, it starts out with,
Yep.
and then You're in Trouble. So
Yep.
just even the fact that it follows up Wanted Man, it feels like it fits right there. Like it's
well, I mean that's an album you've listened to 100 times.
Yeah, or more.
Or more, you know, I mean, so it's weird. Like, you ever put your stuff on shuffle?
Yeah.
I do that just to fuck things up because my brain automatically starts thinking about the next song and
starts off.
Yeah. So I do that all the time now because it just kind of makes it fresh again or something, you know, because it's a different order, you know. That's weird.
Yeah, so
Mind is a weird
I don't think
thing.
it was a big hit or anything. I don't think it was released as a single. I don't know that for sure.
No, I don't think it was.
But I think it's a fan favorite. You know, it's a rockin' tune.
But what do you pick off that album to release the singles? I mean, that's a gem.
I mean, there could be 6, 7.
Yeah, they did. What did they do? Wanted Man was one.
Yeah.
Round and Round. Back for More, probably.
Back for More.
I
don't think lack of communication was. I don't think even. And that.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my number 7. On to you, Chad.
My number 7 is off of. Is that off of Invasion?
That's off Invasion.
Invasion. Yeah, this is my first one off of Invasion. This is such a good song. And just the way it starts off, you take the midnight subway train, you're calling all the shots.
Yeah.
You get struck by lightning, you're in love. It just, I mean, oh my God.
That's a great opening track.
I know, it is. It's just kick ass, you know, like it just kicks you in the teeth and keeps on going.
Yeah, and I feel like
that's really catchy.
On this tour, on their set list, it was probably the opener. Feels like a really good opener tune.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I honestly don't remember from way back then what songs they played. I couldn't tell you. But you know, I'm sure this was one of them. And I you know, it was so freaking many years ago that I can't hardly remember what I had for lunch, and that was just an hour ago. So, but if you've never listened to Ratt, this would be a good place to start too. I mean, it's a really catchy song. I don't know. I can't see anybody not liking this song.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
They did have a cool video for that tune for sure too.
Yes, yeah.
Is that the one that had all the movie scripts?
Yeah, it has Groucho Marx in it.
I think Ron Reagan's even in it, ain't he?
Yeah. Yep. I believe you're correct.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like actually Ronald Reagan's in the video, or it's a clip of him?
It's a clip of of different movies for sure in it.
Okay.
Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, I think. That kind of stuff.
Looks like me and Bergy's got another one. You Think You're Tough off the Ratt's first. I guess it's an EP. Is that what's considered? Titled EP?
Yep. You know, and you guys, God damn it, I forgot all about that. I forgot all about the EP.
Yeah.
Didn't even think of it. Didn't cross my mind.
I
really, really like that song.
Yeah. I have 1.5 songs off of that album, and I'll get to it, but
yeah, because I mean the original version of Back for More is on there too. Walking Your Dog. What else is on there? Walking the Dog.
Sweet Cheater.
Sweet Cheater. Yep.
You Tell the World, and that's pretty much the 6 of them. I think we just named them all.
Yep.
I
think You're Tough is the best one.
I think the cover's Tawny Kitane's legs, ain't it?
For sure. Yep.
Is it? She's also the one on Out of the Cellar.
She's the one crawling out of the cellar, and then the model on the other one you were just talking about, Invasion.
Smoke Show.
Yeah.
She was a Playboy model. Was she Rob Crosby's next girlfriend?
100%. Yep. We had a whole discussion about this, I think, when we did a Ratt Roundtable.
Yep.
I had better notes for that episode, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just going by memory right now. I'm surprised. It's amazing the stuff you just got stored up in the brain.
Isn't it dumb? Us. I mean, I just think about like us that do these shows and the
useless knowledge.
The useless knowledge
Yeah.
we have about these bands and stuff. How crazed we were about this.
Yeah,
stuff.
she was actually, there was I just kind of remember this from that episode we did, but she was in a spread in Playboy called The Women of Ratt, and Ratt was so popular that they had a spread in Playboy called The Women of Ratt.
No shit.
Yeah, so that cover gal, Tawny Katane, of course.
Oh,
Robin Crosby had some serious girlfriends.
Yeah. Well, they called him the king. I mean,
Yeah.
That's maybe where he got that name.
I think that and other things.
Might be another Tommy Lee. Who knows?
Yeah. Or David Coverdale, apparently.
Yeah.
Isn't that how they named the band?
White Snake.
Snake?
Sure. Fair enough.
I think that's how they named it.
All right.
Anyways,
moving on to
enough
that was
of
number
stuff.
what?
6
for Hopper?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm up. Well, this seems to be going quick. So my number 6 is another one off of that album, and it's called "Scene of the Crime." Just going through, and like I said, I went through and I looked at the list of songs on all the albums, and then I just kind of put them off to the side. This is one, if I had done this pre, Chad and I did an episode, I think it was it, we just did an Out of the Cellar album review or something. Yeah. And after going through and listening to these songs, this one really stuck out as I don't remember loving this song as much as I do.
Well, I like it, remember? First line?
Yeah, I had to get it in my list, and this is kind of where it fits in. Yeah, it's a great ending to that album, and just like I was saying about it, I kind of overlooked that song until we did an album review, and we get to that song, and I'm like, man, this is great. But anyway.
Yeah.
What do you got, Chad?
I got at 6. I got a song off a Detonator called "Giving Yourself Away," and we had the round table, and I don't think this album gets near enough love. Like, this is another one to me, like Out of the Cellar. I mean, it's just fucking killer. I love it. Almost every song on that thing.
Yeah.
Like the start, Shame, Shame, Shame. I love that song. I love I don't know what you call it, but anytime that there's a band that has there's a drum beat that, he's doing the hi-hat, he's going.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that song does that. But anyways, my song is not Shame, Shame, Shame. It is Giving Yourself Away, and it is kind of a slower song. It's kind of it's the only ballad, I think. The other one that I think is kind of a ballad, but it's not a ballad.
On that album, you mean?
Yeah. Yep.
There's a few like that are almost ballads, or
yeah.
I feel like this is a ballad, Giving Yourself Away, for sure.
Yeah.
Ratt wasn't the ballad band, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it was on one of my... I think it was
when we did a ballad.
Yeah, I think I picked this one. I just love it. It's the way Stephen sings on this album, I think, is almost better. I think his voice sounds better on this. When he doesn't do the typical Stephen Pearcy and he uses his lower register a little bit, I like it. So I don't know. I might be in the minority on that, but I like that. And then he does the normal Stephen Pearcy sound. But that's my pick. Yeah. 1990, I think that came out.
And I think that's why I don't get a lot of love.
I know.
It's that crummy timing.
Robin Crosby wasn't on there.
No,
wasn't he? Wasn't it? Which one was it where he?
I think he's credited, but I think it was a lot of Warren stuff.
Yeah. When did he pass?
Well, I think he was still alive even when Nobody Rides for Free. But I know he wasn't in the video, but I think he was still alive.
On Detonator?
I'm sure he was still around.
Because he does a lot of the writing. And I know they went to like Desmond Child and a bunch of different people to help write on this album because...
AI said he died in 2002.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's correct or not, because like I said, AI is stupid sometimes.
Yeah. That might be 1922.
But it does sound right.
Yeah.
It was.
But anyways, I was reading a little bit about this album and that, like, they went to a little bit of like Desmond Child and a couple other people to help write songs on this one because they wanted it to be a little more. They wanted to get some more airplay out.
Yeah, I feel like this album they wanted it to be their like Slippery When Wet or something from Bon Jovi, but
and it could very well be if it wasn't that year, if it wasn't the beginning of the grunge stuff and they were right at the end of the hair stuff.
Yeah.
What I remember
came out in 87, 88, I think this one would have been a lot bigger. That album.
I remember an interview with Bobby Blotzer, and he was talking about how they had kind of climbed the ladder like Motley did. They had, Motley would have an extremely successful album, and then they would. And they thought that was going to be their Dr. Feelgood. That was going to take them to the next level. And whether it would have or not, it's just, man, that grunge scene hit, and it just put the nail in everybody.
It did. So, anywho, okay, number 5. We're to the top 5.
Is it my turn?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's Hopper's turn.
All right.
All right, we got off Al's Cellar. I got Back for More.
Nice.
Very good pick.
Yep. Like I said, I got to pick my whole top 10 off of that album.
Now, who is speaking of Back for More? I'm drawing a blank. One of the girls in the video, is that Tawny Katane? Is she in the video?
I don't remember
Or
sure.
Bobby Brown or some model was in that, and I can't remember who it was.
Tommy Lee's girlfriend.
Then girlfriend Wendy
Berry as a waitress.
And maybe I'm just getting them mixed up some other useless knowledge.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely happens for sure.
For sure, it does.
Yeah, it says music video for Back for More is a classic of the MTV era. Released in 1984, it features appearances by Ozzy Osbourne's bassist Rudy Sarzo and Tommy Lee's then girlfriend Wendy Berry as a waitress. But I don't know if that's right. Like I said, AI is wrong half the time.
Is that off Wikipedia?
That's a
Chat
AI.
GPT.
Yep.
No, I was say if it was off Wikipedia, it'd have to be true.
Yeah,
all that stuff's true.
It'd be another good place to look. But anyway, segue into my number 5 is the same. We're on the same wavelength. Yeah.
Back for More.
I got Back for More at number 5 too.
You got any useless knowledge?
Yeah, so this is on their EP too, and it's a little bit slower, more acoustical version. Yeah, maybe is the word.
It's not quite as edgy.
Yeah, and I'm on the fence to which one I kind of like better. So when I said I had 1.5 songs off that EP, this is the other half.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
So this could be a 5A and a 5B or whatever is Back for More off of both of those albums. So if you haven't heard both versions, definitely check it out.
Cool.
But I love that tune too.
Well, we finally get to Out of the Cellar for me.
Okay. Is it Back for More too?
No.
It
would be crazy.
Yeah.
My number 5 off of Out of the Cellar is In Your Direction. I just love the guitar riff in this thing. I just like it. I just like it. Sounds cool. And then the drums kick in. And I'm just like, fuck, how can I not pick this song?
Yeah, that is a good pick. I didn't make my list, but
but like you said, I mean that album's so good that like I didn't pick any of their big ones off of that album.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying you're probably gonna be surprised. Round and Round didn't make my list.
That's crazy. Well, of course it was that 10 for Hopper, but
it was.
Yeah.
I just heard it so much.
Yeah.
That you kind of get sick of it. So if this would have been 1984 when it came out and we were doing this list, it would probably be in my top 3.
It might be your favorite
Might
song.
be my favorite song
because
it was fresh and it was new and it was that. But now over the years, I've heard it so many times that other ones grab my attention more than that one because I just tend to, I listen to it, but it's kind of like I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
And I wonder why that was the song that stuck.
I don't know.
Song because there's so much good stuff.
I know. I couldn't give you an answer to that either. But maybe the record execs came up with that, and maybe they know more than we know sometimes. And
Yeah, I think it just, if you try to think about what else was on the radio at that time, it had a certain composition to that song.
Yeah.
Well, round and round,
Yeah,
and
it
then
had
you
the
got
singing
might
along.
as well jump.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just funny how stuff like that works out in the music business.
Right? Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, In Your Direction, Out of the Cellar. I don't know what song listing it is, or what track it is, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it's your number. We're on
5.
5, right?
Yep. So we're to number 4.
Wrapped up, or we're halfway through.
Yeah. No,
We're more than that's right. We're more than halfway through.
we're 60%.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on to number 4 and Hopper.
All right, so my number 4 is off Invasion of Your Privacy. It's Lay It Down. Awesome song. I mean,
Very good song.
Great. I love Warren's, intro.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. That might be coming up.
And speaking of videos, the video for this is with the clown at the beginning and the little Stephen, and I love it too.
You can keep
Stephen,
I don't have that kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
I never watch videos. I should go back and just watch a bunch of videos.
I should throw it up on here, but we'll probably get
Okay, now, Stephen, blow out the candles.
Wait, Stephen, don't forget to make a wish. Stephen, what did you wish for?
But yeah.
I'll be good.
Well, it's like, what'd you wish for, Stephen?
Yeah, now blow out the candles. That's right.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
I just gotta go back. I gotta
I'm
go
gonna have
back
to borrow
and
you
listen.
my Ratt Atlantic Years.
Well,
video.
I can just go onto YouTube and type in Ratt videos.
Yeah,
and
for
watch
sure.
them.
Oh, their videos. They do got good videos. I've always thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, very few videos that I can think of off the top of my head. I remember Too Young to Fall in Love.
Yeah.
Hot for Teacher.
Yeah. Well, Hot for Teacher. The videos were huge then. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I can't think of any rap videos. But there's very few videos that I just can remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some videos, but I don't think I've seen any of these. But anyways, it's just I'm a poor boy from a poor family.
On my TV, I watch TV through like YouTube TV. I have a subscription. Or
It just
whatever.
went up $10 too.
Yeah, I know. I hate that. But anyway, I have Metal Mayhem's one of the shows on, I don't know if it's VH1 or VH1 Classic.
Oh,
or
I have
something.
that recorded.
Yeah, so I record that.
So do I.
And it's just
go
every
watch
now
it.
and then I'm looking for something to watch, and I'll be like, let's fast forward through and see what kind of videos they have. So I'll find a few that I definitely haven't seen before on there.
I got that I record that too, but I never watch it. Why don't I do that? Because sometimes, like I'm telling Hopper, I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So when I'm getting close to going back to work, I start going back to my work schedule. So I stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to try to get myself ready for that thing. And my wife's been in bed for 6 hours, you know. So I'm trying to find something to watch. That's what I got to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a plan.
That's how I found out all y'all guys was, I worked, like he said, be up, 3 or 4 in the morning watching YouTube, and just whatever comes up, you might doze off and wake up and see you're in some rabbit hole. You're like, how did I even get here?
Where am I?
It is such a rabbit hole.
Who's
I know.
this guy on my TV?
Yep. Cool.
So we're on to my number 4.
Correctamundo.
Yep.
So we were just talking about this song. Hopper had it at 10. Didn't make Chad's list at all. This is where I have Round and Round. And I had to put it in here for the historical significance. And I thought about it. Like I said, my top 5, they could all be number 1. This could be number 1. It could. Again, I think just for the historical significance, I'm more of a deep track kind of guy. But I had to put it in somewhere in the top 5. And in 4, this is kind of the song that broke them. So
It is. It really is. And, I mean, for that reason alone, it should have made my list, but they just have so many good songs.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It really, really is.
We keep talking about videos, but I should say I keep talking, and maybe Hopper keeps talking. You don't, because you don't watch
I have
videos,
zero knowledge.
But this is where, like, what is fucking Milton Berle in this video?
Yeah.
Well, turns out that their manager, maybe that's not the right word. I think it is though. Was Marshall Berle, who was a relative of
I think that's it.
Yeah. And so he ends up in a lot of their videos, and it's kind of cool because it's, this funny old guy, back then he's old, and I'm sure I don't know when he passed away, but I'm sure he's gone.
Oh yeah.
Long gone. But he was the funny old guy with the cigar, and,
Oh.
Well, he was even the woman, wasn't he?
Yes, he.
The woman that adjusted her breast.
I have to do it to mine. Sad state of affairs here, but
go to Walmart and get you some bros.
Get me some bros. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah.
Old Seinfeld dirty.
Number 4, right?
Yeah, we're on your 4, bud.
Okay. Mine is off of Detonator, One Step Away. This is the other one I was kind of talking about that could be a ballad, I gotta look at the lyrics because the way this starts off is just cool. The way he sings, I waited for you, baby, on that hot summer night. I was so hot for you, you were nowhere in sight. You thought I was fooling, so your heart took a flight. I guess we're star-crossed lovers, we just can't get it right.
Yeah.
And it just, the way that is sung by him, and then it just kind of stops, and then it, boom, kicks back
like
in.
Crescendo.
Yeah, we're just star-crossed, and then just boom, and it just hits, and it just, oh my God, I don't know. There's something about that just does it for me. The way he sings it and the way they stop it and then just boom, kick in again. I love it.
I'm a huge Ratt fan. Huge. Like, I have every album they ever put out. I got some Mickey Ratt, the Lost tapes. Like, I have everything. Arcade stuff. I was talking about this band that he played in that we went and saw at the local bar. Now I can't even think of the name of it. But to what you were saying, what album is this on? This is on Detonator, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that song at that time in my life was, like I said, this is 90, maybe 1990. Yep. Yeah, that song hit a certain different way for me, and it did give me chills back then.
Yeah, it's just the way it, just the whole way it sounds and the way it is put together. Whoever wrote that and came up with that is just, it was really, really well done. So
good pick.
Thank you. Top
and
three. Go ahead.
Who produced that album? Wasn't there like it was said it was Sir Arthur or something?
It's funny that it does say AI says Ratt's 1990 album Detonator was produced by Desmond Child, a renowned songwriter and producer known for his work with many high-profile rock and pop artists.
Oh no, the band parted ways with longtime producer Beau Hill. I didn't read that. I just seen his name was in blue, so they did part ways with him.
Oh yeah, Beau Hill.
And songwriter Desmond Child and personal sound engineer Arthur Payson were hired as producers for the album.
Arthur Payson.
Yep.
And maybe I'm thinking it's like Sir Arthur Payson. Might be what it says on the actual album. There's something, I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
more useless knowledge.
Yeah.
I just cleaned our studio like a week ago or whatever, and I had stacks and stacks. I had all the Ratt albums sitting right here. Now I don't. I could have pulled it out and read some liner notes for sure.
Yeah. So cool. Well, yeah, I'll be interested to hear if it's certified by Payson.
Is it Payson?
Payson.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what it says. I think now in my head, I feel like, oh, here he goes. He's got it.
Produced and recorded by Sir Arthur Payson.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the guy you're thinking of.
Huh.
He was the fucking knight, apparently.
Yeah.
But there's nothing on here because you said on there says produced by Desmond Child.
And Arthur Payson.
Isn't that Desmond Child's name's not even on the back?
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, this is Wikipedia. You said everything on there is true, so.
Yeah. So the album's got to be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we'll take.
Because we know Wikipedia is not.
Yeah. Okay. Top three.
All right, my top three, like I said earlier, they're pretty much that they probably will never change. So number 3 is off Dancing Undercover, Body Talk.
Yep.
I love that song. I think it's one of the heaviest songs they've done.
Yeah. And that's on the Golden Child soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right. With Eddie Murphy, which is a little useless trivia knowledge there.
That was supposed to be, I was going to use that, but I done forgot about it.
Yeah, it's a very good song. Heaviest song they did. I'd have to listen to it again.
Yeah. It's funny that one didn't make my list, and it
made my honorables.
It's in your top 3 that, you said it pretty hard and fast on your top 3, but
yeah.
Well, that's what I was telling you about Dancing Undercover. I mean, my friend, man, he just played that album all the time, and we just became a staple album, in our friendship.
So would you go as far as to say is that probably your favorite Ratt album?
I don't know if it's my favorite Ratt album. I don't know I don't know. Man, it's hard to top Al Cellar.
Yeah, I know that'd be.
It really is.
Yeah.
That Dancing Undercover, I think, definitely
it's kind of a sleeper.
It's really good, and I don't think it gets enough credit. A lot of the songs on there are great.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely don't get the credit that I don't know if they're not underrated, but I think Ratt should have been. I think they should have been even bigger.
Oh yeah, for sure. They should be Motley Crue status.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, I've said it.
Because to me, I mean, and I'm gonna get shit from this. I got shit from this. I was telling Chris about this. We did a Motley Crue episode where we were talking about something, and a guy, and I really liked the '94 album, and a guy gave me a bunch.
I love the '94 album.
And I was saying some stuff about Motley Crue, whereas, their newer stuff I'm not a fan of. So I'm not gonna. I said, and we were talking about how they perform. Vince's backing tracks and Mickey's backing tracks and all that stuff. I said, so I won't go to their shows anymore. To me, if they're gonna do that, I'm just gonna listen to the fucking album at home. And I got a whole bunch of shit from a guy, and he's like, well, if you're a fan, you're a fan. I'm still a fan.
Yeah, same here.
I'm just not gonna promote. I'm not gonna give them my hard-earned money for a show if they're gonna fucking lip sync. I'm not fucking going to Milli Vanilli show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I wish Vince would lip sync.
Then he'd remember the lyrics.
Yeah.
That fucking guy. Anyways, so we're kind of off topic, but yeah. I don't even remember where
we were talking about Ratt being it gun to my head. They're my favorite band.
Yeah, I mean, they should be Motley Crue status. I mean, their albums are just as strong, if not stronger, than Motley's.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And I wouldn't have said that before we started doing this podcast. I wouldn't have done that because Motley was always one of my favorite top 3 bands. And once I started really digging into it, and if you listen to Ratt albums today, they still hold up.
Yeah.
All their shit. Motley Crue, I can't say the same about that. I listen to it and I'm kind of going, kind of cringy.
Yeah.
Some of their stuff. But not all of it. I mean, their first couple albums, the '94 album, a few songs off of each of the other albums really hold up well, but a lot of their stuff is kind of shit.
Well, and I think it's what I've always told people, because I'm exactly like you with as far as Motley Crue. I probably always will be a Motley Crue fan.
I will.
They will get none of my money right now, because as long as people keep paying them, they're going to keep doing this horrible shows.
They put out on this little fucking 3 deal, that Fight for Your Right and that whatever it was. I mean, are you kidding me? That is an absolute joke.
Now we did a reaction for the very first track, Canceled. That's actually not a bad song. It's not something that I'm going to listen to every day. But the other 2 songs, I just wasn't in love with them.
I don't even know what the third one is because I wouldn't even listen to it.
Well, that's what we only had to do 3. So I told my partner, I said, let's just do this when John 5 says it's supposed to sound like Aerosmith, which it don't sound like Aerosmith. But,
not at all.
it wasn't a horrible song. I'd check it out.
I did. I heard that one, but
Well, let's get back to Ratt.
yeah. Anyways,
Where did
Ratt
we-
should be in that category.
Yeah, where did we leave off?
We were at 3. He did a 3. He's number 3, Body Talk.
Yeah.
You did okay. Yeah, good pick. And again, didn't make my list, but weird. I do this list tomorrow. Maybe it's in number 2 for me. Who knows? It's just weird the way this works.
I know.
My number 3 is a song that Chad mentioned, and one of my very favorite songs. Kind of like Hopper feels about Body Talk, I feel about this song, and it's "I Want a Woman" off "Reach for the Sky." Just love it.
It is. It's so good. It's really. That's the thing about Ratt songs.
It comes
They're
on.
super catchy.
I'm singing along, and I'm
Yeah.
bobbing
That's-
my head.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna keep it brief and just leave it there. But that's
Okay.
my number 3. "I Want a Woman."
Okay. Number 3 for me is from Out of the Cellar. I had 3 off of this album. And I could have been 5. Easily could have been 5. Number 3 for me is Lack of Communication. I fucking love this song.
Yeah,
I don't know. This could be number 1 easily for me, just because the guitar riff is so iconic. It just kicks you in the fucking teeth, and
yeah.
it's just
When the song comes on the album, this is the song where you hear the finger slide on the.
Yep.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Oh, here it comes.
I remember this. There was this kid from Rollat. He moved away. He didn't graduate there. Leland Meyer. And I remember hearing this with him and Troy Johnson. And I think we were in my car, and I turned it on and we cranked it up, and he just went, "That is fucking awesome." And we listened to that song about 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
Because he goes, "That song just kicks ass." And I was like, "Yeah, it does." So that's why it made my number top 3. It's really, really catchy and really, really good.
Is that the first song on the second side? Does that sound right? Like of
Nope,
the cassette?
it's like the 3rd or 4th song on the album.
It's funny how we.
Isn't
Well,
it?
I think it is the first song on the second side.
Is it?
10 songs on
Maybe
there.
it is. Yeah, it's been.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember that, flipping over the cassette and
Oh yeah.
hitting play, and there was that little lead up to where it's just like dead air, and then you hear that slide on there.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it just kicks.
And that's so like your buddy from Roulette. I'm sure it's a cassette you were listening
Yeah,
to.
it
right?
was. Yep.
So
Yep.
you could rewind that, and it would
Right
click
to the beginning.
Yeah, and it would go right to the beginning of that song.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. So
Anyway.
yeah, that makes sense too.
Good pick.
Thank you.
Didn't make my list, but
Wow.
I know, weird.
I know.
I love that we have some
Diversity.
diversity. Good word.
All right, Hopper. Number 2.
All right, so number 2 is off the same album, Out of the Cellar. I'm going to go with "Wanted Man," and as I guess Robin Crosby. Did Robin Crosby say in the video, "Always wanted to be a cowboy," or was that Bobby Blotzer? One of them.
What a trip. Think we can get something to eat around here?
Let's check this place out. Looks like a bar, man.
Ain't no bar, that's a saloon.
Let's hit it.
Wow. This looks just like the Old West. Yeah, it does, Right.
Man, I always wanted to be a cowboy.
Me too.
I remember that. Remember Bobby had the bullet between his teeth
Yeah, that's
at
Bob.
the end of it. Smoke rolling out of his mouth.
He's a freaking awesome drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I mean, at that beginning with the drums is just cool as shit. Yeah, I really like that song too. That's honorable mention for me, man. It's I mean, I could have. Like I said, I listened to that, and that started off, and I went, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's good."
And that's another one. First side or
I know.
the beginning of
Yeah.
the set. You could rewind it to that, and
It's- it's the first song.
Yeah,
on the
just-
album, and it's just
The intro and everything. I mean, it's
kind of.
and that's when it was important, them guys, for song selection on the album. You know, that's kind of got lost too over the years.
It has. You know, I always love it when an album starts off with just a kick ass song, just to pull you in, just right off the gate. So, what was I? Did somebody say something? Did somebody have "You're in Trouble"?
I did.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
Number
one
seven
that almost
for me.
sounds like monkeys or something in there, but he's got the really cool bass. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that song too. I was just thinking about that for some reason.
Sounds like you're in the jungle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way that Wanted Man starts out too, and
Yep.
oddly didn't make my list either.
I know.
But
Well,
it's in my honorable mentions, and that when you say it, I'm like I'm hearing it in my head in the beginning and the song, and it's just like
it's just
it
it's so
rocks for
hard.
sure.
Ratt is just so good. And I think I don't think we've proven that on this episode. We've all just raved and said we could. We could have did a top 20 easy.
Yeah.
And there would be no bad songs.
Nope.
So.
Well, even their greatest hits, 81 to 91, don't do them justice. Because
Nope.
I always tell them their greatest hits is their old collection.
Yeah. Exactly. It really is, because they don't have really any really stinker songs that I can.
Yeah.
None that I can.
Yeah.
No clunkers that I can think of.
Which one?
No clunkers, he said.
Oh, no clunkers.
And the funny thing about it is really they're only, it had some minor hits, I guess you'd call it, but Round and Round is, like you said,
by far their biggest.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that,
yeah,
maybe
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, just one song makes them hit or whatever, makes them popular, and then it's a good thing for that song. That's why it had to be on my list.
And I'm glad. I should have, but so hard. Number 2.
My number 2 is a song you mentioned already, and I don't know if Hopper mentioned this one, maybe, but You're in Love. I'm getting into Invasion of Your Privacy, which this might be my favorite album of the 2. Out of the Cellar, so good, but Invasion of Your Privacy I feel like is so good, so I got some honorable mentions off of it too. But You're in Love, good start to an album. I think Hopper said that.
Yeah,
I brought it up that I think if during the tour, this would be a good opener song.
Yeah.
And
having I could see it
at the start of the album, good. And we talked about video a little bit, but again, I'll try to keep it brief and move on.
I wish I would have put that on my list. I mean, see, now that's already something should have changed there. Why that didn't make my list, I don't know.
I know, right?
Well,
we made both ours.
All the way up
number
at
7.
number 2, but
mine was number 7.
I flip-flopped songs, and this was probably at one time in 7th place. Yeah, whatever. Just we do the list tomorrow. It's all different.
My number 2 is off of Invasion. And Hopper had it on his list, and it is called Lay It Down. And I freaking love this song. The guitar riff is so awesome. I tried to learn it one time. It's fucking hard. It's you gotta really stretch on some of this stuff, and I just gave up because I'm a giver-upper. But anyways, Lay It Down, just a fantastic song. Love it. Can't say enough about it. Hopper had it on. Did you make your list? Lay It Down? No.
Not yet. But we're only at number 2.
Did we have a change, perhaps?
Yes, thanks for giving it away.
Oh, that's funny as shit. But anyways, Lay It Down off Invasion of Your Privacy. Chris is right. Invasion and Out of the Cellar. I still go with Out of the Cellar as my favorite Ratt album, and this would probably be number 2, and Detonator would probably be number 3. And 2 and 3 could switch because I really, really like that Detonator, but I think that would be the way I would go with it. But anyways, that was my number 2. We're on to number 1. What's yours, Hopper?
Well, before I give you my number 1, you was talking about what order you like the albums in. I think I might pretty much like them the order they came out.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I know
you're a big Detonator. I would probably put Detonator maybe over Reach for the Sky.
For me, definitely would be better now. I think Reach for the Sky is their weakest.
If you say it that way, does that mean that they
Well, no.
Every time they put out an album, that's the hard part about it. But I get what you mean.
I mean, I guess I would put Out of the Cellar above the EP. I guess full length albums maybe.
Yeah. Full length. I
for
sure.
sure.
Didn't include the EP. Yep.
I think when we did our
We
Rat
did
Roundtable was top 5 albums or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Yeah, and I don't.
Well, then you had that self-titled one. I wasn't much on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we.
I think that was probably everybody's number 6.
Oh yeah, we didn't. It wasn't top 5. We did all the albums, I think.
Oh yeah, we did. Yep, we did because we included the one that
Infestation was in there, and
yep,
the self-titled Rat.
Infestation's a good album. It don't get a lot of love, but it was probably one. I think it made my count down. It was like one of the best albums come out that year.
Yeah. Funny. Nobody's had a song off of it.
No, but I have an honorable mention off of
Best
it.
of Me.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, that would be my.
Or Eat Me Alive. That was a good song too.
Yeah. I didn't really that one album, that yellow covered one. I didn't really like that one.
I did.
Yeah.
I got an honorable mention off of that one too. But anyway,
okay.
The song they released off that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I there's a couple songs that I do like because it's come up on my thing and I've starred them. So I don't mind it, but it's just that would be, I think it was my least favorite album when we did our roundtable. I'm almost positive it was. So, anyways, Hopper number 1.
All right, my number 1 wasn't on any of the albums. It was on the soundtrack to Point Break. Nobody Rides for Free. I've always liked that song. Always. I don't know why it's my favorite song by them. But even I love to hear it live, all that stuff.
Yeah. Anybody catch? Have you seen Stephen Pearcy lately, or caught any of his shows?
Yeah, I actually got to see Ratt at the M3 when they got back together and did a couple shows, Warren and Juan Crusher, and it was still. I don't know. You could tell they hadn't played together. They don't seem like they'd played together that long. They was really rusty, I thought.
Yeah. So how many times have you seen Ratt?
I think I've only seen Rat one time.
Did they sound good?
They were, like you mentioned about that '89 tour. They were loud, and they didn't sound that great live.
So I've seen them, I think, 4 times. The first time, that Invasion tour, fucking sounded great. Mixed perfectly, sounded lovely.
Yeah.
The other 3 times sounded like garbage.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, like their music was too loud. You couldn't hear Steven, or something. Or their sound guy was just terrible.
It was like they were just trying to be the loudest or something.
Yeah. It just didn't sound good. So, anyways.
Well, when I saw them in '89, I don't know if I probably mentioned this on the Kicks show, but see, Kicks opened that show, and I wouldn't want to follow Kicks. I mean, they're on the money, and then Ratt was just so loud, and and Brittany Fox, I thought sounded better than Ratt.
Yeah. See, I think if you went into any forums or anything, you hear a lot of that where they didn't sound very good.
Yeah, but they did that one time.
The first time on Invasion, they sounded freaking amazing. Really, really, really good.
Well, they probably had to work. Honestly, they probably had to work their ass off on that tour because I'm sure Bon Jovi was playing. They was at the top of their game.
Oh my God,
they were so hungry.
They were really, really good. I mean, if I had to say, I always say like my favorite band live was Warrant. And those are probably my favorite shows, and Metallica, because I'm a huge Metallica fan. But if I had to pick another show that was super good that I really remember, it's that show.
And there was some stupid reason, but it was Ratt, and Poison was opening for Ratt, and I didn't go to this show, but I had tickets, or I could have got tickets, or whatever. Somebody had tickets for me, I don't remember. And for some stupid reason, I didn't go. And I always regretted. That's one that I regretted not going to because I loved Ratt so much.
That's me with Metallica here in town.
Yeah.
On Injustice.
Yeah.
Fuck, I couldn't go. I didn't have any money. Broke as a joke.
Well, see, I went to Justice and didn't go to Dr. Feelgood. I had to pick between one of the shows. And I was a bigger Crew fan, but Metallica was just, they were they were, climbing the ladder fast.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you stand on Metallica nowadays?
I listen to them. I don't know if they're huge. They're the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
But I liked them better earlier because now after the Black Album, I feel like before that I felt like they were our band, but now they're everybody's band.
Yeah.
The Black Album is so huge.
Yeah. So I've been listening to him since Kill 'Em All. I've told this story a million times. I traded a guy he hated it. He went to mine it and bought it and came back and he hated it and he traded me for something. I don't remember what it was. And it became mine and my buddy Carl and Jamie, my two best friends. We were just kind of metalheads and it just became our fucking band.
Yeah.
And just jammed. Anyways, we better get back on track. Number one.
Number one. We're on to my number one. So this is where I'm going to just give a quick shout out to Jay that we've done some episodes with. He sent out, and so this is New Year's Day. We're recording this episode. Probably be a couple weeks before it comes out. But Jay sent us, some of us that do shows with Guru, roundtables and such. He sent out some Christmas cards. And
that was pretty fucking awesome.
A little gift. And this is my number one song. But this is the little gift he sent out. Is a single.
The 45.
Yeah. That is really cool.
Lay It Down. Yeah. Off of Invasion of Your Privacy.
Oh, I wish I'd have brought mine. He sent me.
So thank you, Jay.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. I'm gonna just tell you it was awesome. He sent me a black and blue shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, from their first album.
Oh, it's giving a thumbs down.
Awesome album.
Yeah, definitely thumbs up, right?
Yes.
Okay. But that's my number one. Lay It Down. Legendary opening riff. One of the most memorable intros in music for me, especially that time period or this type of music. Stephen Pearcy's vocals, great. I don't know how much more I can say about it, but it is today my favorite Ratt song. When I made my favorite Ratt song, I love them all. I love so many of them.
Yeah.
I could pick just about anything.
Okay.
So, Lay It Down. Baby.
Great song. I had my number two. I mean, like you said, an amazing guitar intro. It's just a classic riff, and it's really tough.
So your number one, we got drum roll.
Number one. It's going to probably surprise a few people. My number one is off of Out of the Cellar, and it is Scene of the Crime. And I just fucking love the opening of this song. And in Apple Music, it said, I want to just, yeah, it is. So, okay. He comes out and he just goes, I want to rock, but you dare to roll. I just love that beginning. It just kicks in like that, and I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And then it says, I came by your house, but you weren't at home. I knock on your door. I hear you beg for more. You broke the law, and that's a felony. Yeah. I love that beginning verse. I love the way it kicks in. I love the sound of it. I mean, it just gets me every time. And that wasn't like...
Yeah, it made my list.
It's one of these songs, like it's the last song, like you said, so it often gets overlooked. But I think if people would sit down and actually listen to it a few more times, it would move up your ladder pretty quickly, because it really, really is a good song. It's about his girlfriend cheating on him. You know, you've been caught at the scene of the crime, so he caught her cheating. So kind of in the vein of I Saw Red, kind of by Warren, but it just kicks ass, and nobody wants to get cheated on, and it's a great song. If that ever happened to you. Yeah, you could throw that on and go, yeah, you've been caught at the scene of the crime.
So good pick, good discussion. I don't know how long this episode ended up being, but
fairly long, but it's okay.
Oh, we got some honorable mentions.
I wrote down some. I put Way Cool Jr., Body Talk, Dance, You're in Trouble, Wanted Man, Back for More, I'm Insane. I mean, that pretty much the whole first album, right? Yeah. And I think every one of them except for Insane was on the list. Yeah, on somebody's list.
And mine were You Should Know By Now.
I like that song.
Yeah, it feels like an arena rocker. Like, I don't know if they played that live during Invasion of Your Privacy.
They did.
But they did. Okay.
Yep, I remember that song.
It seems like a good arena rocker. Wanted Man made my list, which again was on Hopper's list. Did you have Wanted Man on yours too? No.
Yeah.
Looking for Love off of, is that also off Dancing Undercover? Like that tune. Over the Edge was the one that I had off of the Ratt.
Yeah. That's the song I was trying to think of earlier.
Best of Me I had off of Infestation, and then I also Shame was another one off of Detonator that I like. So those are mine. You got some too, Hopper?
I'm just gonna put on my little You're in Love in here. It should have been on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth giving an honorable mention.
It really is one of those that you're like, I missed that one. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I do got a question for y'all.
Sure.
And see what y'all's opinion is. What do you think? Do you think Ratt had too many leaders and not enough followers to keep it all together? Like Motley Crue, I mean,
too many Chiefs and not enough Indians.
Yeah, because I mean, Nikki, we all know Nikki runs the Motley show. So,
I don't know. I guess I never delved that deep into that.
I kind of think that's probably the case because, and I've listened to, I'm a huge, like I said already, I'm a huge Ratt fan. One of the podcasts I subscribe to, which so do probably millions of other people, is Eddie Trunk. And I hear it. I don't like him. Recent interview, or actually it's probably a couple years ago now, but he always has some of the guys on from Ratt. He always gets the big name guys for sure because he's big time. But
because he's Eddie Trunk and he had that metal show.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love watching that stuff.
I did too. I just don't like his voice for some reason. And when you hear it on radio, it just sounds weird. Yeah. Probably I don't like my voice on here.
But I do think that there's a lot of like
he's good.
They never really got it together where they were all, have a reunion, like a back together. Like I don't know who hates who or who can't get along, but I think that's probably the good way to put it is.
Yeah.
Well, the more and more stuff come out, I think Robin was a really neutral character. And because you'd see him talking to the press and all this stuff. And I think maybe he was the glue that held it all together.
I have watched some stuff, and there was a thing about Robin Crosby where when he was going through all his drug problems and stuff like that, nobody'd even fucking give him the time of the day out of the band.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Like the nickname King is maybe what we were talking about earlier.
Bigger in life,
But yeah, and he was a huge person.
Yeah,
tall.
He was like 6'4".
Tall.
Big guy.
But I think once his downfall started to happen, like we looked up that it was 2002 that he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he was probably gone for 10. I mean, he was gone longer than that because of his issues with heroin and whatever else.
Yeah.
But with him not being there, maybe he was the glue that
I think he was, and I think you hit it right on the head when you said that. And when I was watching that interview, and I think it was actually Robin Crosby. He goes, not a fucking guy would, if I wouldn't borrow me $10. He goes, they wouldn't even stop by my house and see how I was doing. He goes, they just cut all contact. Not any of them.
Oh,
and that's pretty fucking sad.
Was that diary entry thing that was on?
I don't remember where it was on YouTube somewhere. I was just kind of went down a rabbit hole and I stumbled upon it, and I couldn't tell you what it was, but I was like really, really saddened by that because you spend a lot of time, and he was a very integral part in your. He wrote a lot of the songs. He was credited on every song, I think, pretty much as a writer. Probably not every song, but a lot of them. So for them to kind of disown him like that would be kind of sad. And I wish I could find that thing again. And
Stephen Pearcy had a book. I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a biography, autobiography, whatever. And so he had a lot of good things to say about Crosby for sure in there.
Well, it's easy to say when he's gone.
Yeah, so where were you when he needed you?
Yeah, that's the thing that bugs me.
I don't know.
And God, I wish I could find that.
Saying though.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, but I 100% think Hopper's right on it, where he was kind of the glue that kept the band together, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know this for a fact, but just in my head, watching some Ratt stuff, I think Steven's kind of got a big head. I just
Oh yeah,
he's kind of
I agree with that.
He's kind of cocky, so I think that just off the little things that I've seen, and I'm just like, so for Robin to be, if he was the glue, I can see where that kind of started to pull them apart and go different ways. But I want to say one other thing about Ratt before we wrap this up is two of the best tandem guitar players. One of the best tandem guitar players or guitar duos around. God, they worked so well together. They sounded so good. I think Warren DeMartini is way underrated as a lead guitar player. He is fan-fucking-tastic, and Robin is good too, but Warren is just out of this world as far as
oh yeah, Warren. I mean, I put Warren up there with Eddie Van Halen and Jakey Lee and George Lynch.
Yeah, a good friend of mine is buddies with him down in Vegas, so it's pretty cool. So I kind of live vicariously through him. But anyways, just wanted to say that about Ratt's guitar playing. If you listen to their albums, you would understand what I'm saying. It's just really, really good guitar work all the way through all their stuff. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. We kind of babbled on and got off topic a little bit, but that's kind of what we do on this show, and we don't give a shit what you think. Right. Well, we do give a shit what you think, but
subscribe all that.
But I think it makes for better episodes when you kind of just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, watch us on YouTube. We're on all the podcast sites, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, blah, blah, blah. But you don't get to see us. So go on to YouTube.
Yeah, and check out Hops Metal Show too while you're at it.
Yeah, thanks.
Go to Hops Metal Show, and we thank you for being on today. It was a pleasure.
All right, sounds good. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope you enjoyed our content. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. We'd greatly appreciate it. Links to everything we discussed will be included in episode notes. Feel free to check those out as well. Until next time, stay golden, Pony Boy, and rock on.